Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to turn you into a detective. We're going on a hunt for that invisible culprit that drives every wireless technician nuts: radio frequency interference. All right, let's get this investigation started.
Okay, let's get right into the evidence. Everything we're talking about today is pulled from Appendix D of a super detailed report by the RFI detectives. They're part of Virtualization Options LLC. So you know this is the real deal. Think of this as your official field manual, built for you, the tech who's actually out there on the ground.
You know this scene all too well, right? You're on the job, the client's breathing down your neck, the Wi-Fi is totally unstable, and none of the usual fixes are working. So is it about router, or is there something hiding in the airwaves, something you can't even see? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out.
First things first. Every good detective has to survey the scene of the crime. For us, it's not some dark alley. It's the airwaves all around us. And believe me, that scene is getting more crowded and a whole lot noisier every single day.
So, our crime scene has a name, the ISM bands. We're talking about the 2.4 and 5 gigahertz frequencies. You got to think of it like a public park for radio waves. It's unlicensed, which means pretty much anyone and anything can use it. It's a total wireless Wild West out there, with countless devices all trying to shout over each other. And it's funny, because these bands were originally meant for stuff like industrial and medical gear, but now they're the backbone of our Wi-Fi.
And in this Wild West, you've basically got two types of characters. This is how we start to separate our known actors from our potential suspects. On one side, you have your intentional radiators, things like routers and Bluetooth devices that are supposed to be talking. But then, you've got the unintentional ones. These are the sneaky culprits: microwave ovens, old fluorescent lights, faulty equipment, stuff that's just polluting your spectrum as a byproduct.
Okay, so we know our crime scene. Now it's time to start looking for clues. See, every culprit leaves a trace, and RFI is absolutely no different. You just have to know what those telltale signs are.
So, what are those signs? I mean, what are the classic symptoms that should make your brain immediately switch from thinking broken hardware to, aha, I bet this is interference? These right here, these are the patterns you're looking for. That constant video buffering, the random disconnects, that awful lag. You know, these aren't just vague, the Wi-Fi's bad complaints. No, these are specific clues. When you start seeing these, your RFI alarm bells should be screaming. It's officially time to start your investigation.
All right, we've got our clues. But let's be real, hun. Hunches don't solve cases. Hard evidence does. And to get that evidence, we need to open up our forensic toolkit.
And your number one most important tool, your detective's magnifying glass, is a Wi-Fi analyzer. This software is absolutely essential. It lets you literally see the invisible. It gives you a map of the entire spectrum, showing you channel usage, signal strength, and, crucially, the noise floor. That's where the bad guys love to hide.
But hey, having the best tool in the world doesn't mean a thing if you don't have a solid method, right? A systematic investigation is what separates a lucky guess from a case that's truly cracked.
And here it is. This is the method, a simple 3-step process that will lead you right to the source of the problem. First, you do a site survey, map out the whole area, find where the signal is strong, where it's weak, and where the noise is loudest. Second, you start isolating variables. That means you start turning suspect devices off one by one to see what changes. And third, you look for patterns over time. This is how you catch the really sneaky ones.
And let me tell you, that third step, temporal analysis, that is your secret weapon. The interference isn't always on 24/7, so you have to ask questions. Does the network only go down around lunchtime? Maybe check the microwave in the break room. Does it drop out every evening around the same time? Could be an old cordless phone someone's using. Logging that data over time is how you uncover those hidden patterns.
And finally, every master detective knows the law of the land, and they also know how the environment itself can be an accomplice to the crime. So let's talk about the rulebook and the physical world we're all working in.
This right here is the fundamental rule of the road for the ISM bands, straight from the FCC. And it's a two-way street. It says your equipment has to be able to accept interference, but it also says it can't cause harmful interference. For you, the technician, this means you can't just blame the neighbor's network. Your network has to be tough enough to coexist in a noisy world.
And you can never, ever forget that the environment itself can be an accomplice. We're talking about physical walls, metal filing cabinets that reflect signals all over the place, even things like big potted plants or a heavy rainstorm. They can absorb, reflect, and just plain mess with the signals you're trying to manage.
Sometimes your culprit isn't another device at all. It's that brand new firm they just put in the corner office.
So here's the bottom line. Hunting for RFI isn't some kind of dark art or guesswork. It's real detective work. If you understand the scene, you look for the right clues, you use the right tools, and you follow a solid method, you can track down pretty much any invisible culprit out there. So, you've got the method now. What's the next mystery you're going to solve? Happy hunting!